Hello friends. So today's topic for discussion is related to crystal imperfections, or it is also called as crystal defects. So today we learn about crystal imperfections or crystal defects, and if we see the types, so these basically three different types of crystal imperfections are available, or crystal defects are available. Okay, before that, why we study these defects, or why it is important? So if we take any type of material, then in all material some type of defects are available, and always defects are not always defects are not we say that it is not bad thing, but it requires in for manufacturing some different types of materials. Okay, so it is essential in some cases. So if we want to change the material properties, or if we want to tailor the material properties, then it is very essential. Okay, so we work on these defects, and by applying some another type of material in place of here, then it is possible to change the property of material. So for that conversion we use these defects. different types of defects are available. There is point defect. Then in case of point defect, it is also called as zero dimensional defect. Okay. So defects are related to geometry as well as defects are related to dimensions. Okay, either you take geometrical defects or you say that it is dimensional. Dimensionality is there. So point defect are there. It is also called as zero dimensional defects, and in point defect two further types or subtypes are there. That is vacancy, and second is impurity atoms. So impurity atoms may be substitutional impurities and maybe it is interstitial impurities. So depending on that, whether we substitute or whether it is interstitial or in between, so according to that, this is impurity atom, that is point defect second type, that is impurity atoms. Second type of crystal defect becomes line defect, and line having line having one dimensions, so it is called as one dimensional defects. It is subclassified into two types, that is edge dislocation and screw dislocation. These are the two subtypes in line defects. Third type of crystal defects becomes area defects or planar defects. We know that area having two dimensions. If we take this is x, this is y, and this is area. So for this area we require these two dimensions. So it is called as two-dimensional defects. Now in area defects or planar defects, it is again subclassified into two types, that is grain boundaries and twin boundaries. These are the two subclassification of this area defects. Volume defects are also there, but from syllabus point of view, these three defects are sufficient to study. In today's lecture, we focus on this topic, that is point defect. So if we observe here in this point defects, so point defects are again classified according to this, that is non-ionic crystals and ionic crystals. In non-ionic crystals, it is sub-classified into vacancy or interstitial or substitutional, and in ionic crystals, it is classified into two types, that is Frankel defect and Schottky defect. This Frankel defect and Schottky defects are related to ceramics. So if we consider the mechanical engineering point of view, our material is mostly steel type of material, and that is come under this heading, that is non-ionic crystals. So we focus on these two topics, that is vacancy and interstitial or substitutional point defects. If we take these points are called as lattice points. Okay. In our first lecture, we already discussed about lattice points. If we want to find out the crystal structure, then we first locate the lattice points, and at the location of these lattice points, then we add at this location either we add atoms, then we add either molecules or we add ions. Depending on the requirement of material, we add atoms, molecules or ions. If we add atoms at lattice locations, so at each lattice point we add one atom. So if we consider this lattice location, so 12 different lattice locations are available. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 rows are there. So 4 into 3, that is 12 different lattice locations are there. And if we see here, if one of the atom is not present here, okay, if one of the atom is not present at this location, at this lattice point, so this is called as vacancy. This is called as vacancy. Why this vacancy happens? Okay, the reason is that it is related to thermodynamic property. It is related to temperature, increase in temperature. So if we heat the material, then the atoms present in that material gets vibrated. Okay, or it vibrates at its mean position. If we observe here, if atom is present here, then this atom is connected to surrounding atoms like this. It is connected to here, 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 and here. Now, if this atom want to move from this position, so this atom must apply some energy, and by overcome these bonds, then only it is possible to change its position from here to another position. Okay, so it is required to break these bonds. Then only it is possible for this atom to move from this location to another location. Okay, so for breaking these bonds, the energy is required, and that much amount of energy this atom can gain after applying or after increasing the temperature. So after heating that material, in some locations the atom get some maximum amount of energy, so that it is possible to this atom to break these bonds and move from its original position and shift at other place. So the space which is vacant in between this, okay, so this vacant space is called as vacancy. If we see the formula for calculating this vacancy, so by using this equation, it is possible to calculate the number of vacancies available in the material. So what is the formula? Formula is NV, which is equal to N into exponential of in bracket minus Q into V divided by K into T. What is this NV? NV is nothing but the number of vacancies available, or it is also called as equilibrium number of vacancies. So in this example, number of vacancies becomes 1. One atom gets shifted from this location. So number of vacancies becomes 1. So here the value is 1 for this case. What is this N? N is nothing but number of lattice points. We know that lattice points becomes these points. We already counted these points. So 12 number of points are available. So N value becomes 12. Okay. And we already tell that this atom required some energy, and if we increase the temperature, then only it gains some energy. Okay, and that energy is related to this exponential in bracket minus Q into V. This is called as, it is activation energy which is required to create vacancy. So this much energy is required, that is exponential in bracket minus Q into V. This much energy is required to shift this atom from this location, okay, or for breaking these bonds, this much amount of energy required to break these bonds and to free this atom, okay. So this is called as activation energy. Then K is constant, that is Boltzmann's constant. T is absolute temperature, okay. So this is the formula, and if we plot the graph for this, if we take this N on this side, left side, so NV upon N, and this is T, and this curve becomes exponential curve, so we get like this. This is exponential curve. Now if we take the log of this equation, if we take the log of this equation, so log of NV upon N is equal to, if we take log of exponential term, this term becomes minus Q into V divided by K into T. Now this equation is like equation of line. Okay, equation of straight line. How? Because if we consider this term becomes y, which is equal to, this is minus, and if we take this term like m term, and 1 upon t becomes x. So this y is nothing but this term, m is nothing but this term, and x is this term, that is 1 upon t becomes the x term. Okay. So by using this equation, it is possible to plot the straight line curve. So our equation, so by using this equation, if we draw or if we plot the curve is like this. So log of this is actually log ln. Okay, so log of nv upon n, which is divided by 1 upon t, that is temperature. 1 upon t is x in this case, so 1 upon t, and y becomes log of nv upon v, log of nv upon n. This is the y axis, this is x axis, and if we see, the line becomes straight line by using this equation. And here if we take the slope, then the slope becomes qv upon k. This is nothing but m value, this is nothing but m, so qv upon k, this is the slope. Now if we want to find out the number of vacancies, that is nv is the number of vacancies. So if we want to find out nv, then it is possible if we know the energy. qv is related to activation energy. So if we know how much energy is required, then it is possible how many number of vacancies are available, how many empty spaces are available in that material. It is possible to calculate. Or if we say reverse, if we know the number of vacancies present in that material, it is possible to find out the energy required to make the number of vacancies, that much amount of vacancies. Okay, for that purpose, how much energy is required, that is also possible to calculate, that is qv. And if we see this 1 upon t, so if we increase the value of t, then t gets move in this direction, because t is divided by. So if we increase the value of t, then t gets shifted from this location. So initially if point is here, then if we increase the temperature, this point gets shifted in this direction, like this here. And if we increase the temperature, then activation energy gets increases, and as activation energy gets increases, more number of atoms gets shifted from this position, and more number of vacancies are created. So our number of vacancies gets increased, like here. So number of vacancies is here in first case, and if we increase the temperature, it is shifted from here to here. Okay, and number of vacancies get increases. So this is about vacancy. If we take initial case, if temperature is not increases, if temperature is 0 Kelvin, so whether vacancies are available or not. Okay, so vacancy is only the property which is depends on temperature. Another properties are not depend on this temperature only. Okay, but this vacancies depend purely on temperature, increase in temperature. So if the temperature gets increases, then definitely some vacancies are there. But if temperature is not increases, temperature is 0 Kelvin, then it is not possible to create these vacancies. So vacancies are not available in that case. Okay, at 0 Kelvin vacancies are not available. But if we slightly increase the temperature, yes, definitely the vacancies are available. Now we see the another type in that point defect. This point is finished. So interstitial defects. Again, lattice points. Taking the atoms at each lattice points. Now observe here. If we observe the gaps between these atoms, some gaps are available. Now, if we say some foreign particle gets inserted in that material, and if that foreign particle occupies this vacant space which is available in between these atoms, then this foreign particle occupies this the internal space. So this type of defect is called as interstitial defect. Okay, this defect is called as interstitial defect, and this is foreign atom. Its example becomes, if we take the carbon atom as foreign atom, okay, and it is possible to insert this carbon atom in body centered cubic structure, that is BCC ion structure. It is possible to insert this carbon atom in between these BCC ions. Okay, in this case, this actual atoms or this BCC ions are called as parent atoms. Okay, or it is also called as host atoms, and this another atom is foreign atom. Okay, so surrounded this foreign atom, this becomes host atoms or parent atoms. So this is called as interstitial defect. If we see the another type of defect, that is substitutional defect. Now these are the atoms and lattice points. So if some vacant space is available here, and if some foreign particle occupies the space which is vacant by this host atom or by this parent atom, at that location if the foreign particle present, then it is called as substitutional defect. It is called as substitutional defect because it takes the position of host atom. Okay, this all atoms are called as host atom, and one host atom if left from that position or vacancy is available there, in that vacancy this foreign particle comes and sit there. Okay, so this is the foreign atom. So this foreign atom may be small in size as compared to these host atoms, or this size becomes big size as compared to this host atoms. Okay, like this foreign atom. So example, if we see example of this substitutional defect, for manufacturing of semiconductor. We know that semiconductor is very important material. Okay, if semiconductors are not available, then this all these computers and these internet facilities are not possible. Okay, so this semiconductor material is essential for storing the data, for storing purpose. Okay, and this semiconductor is made with this substitutional defect. What happens here? Here, the pentavalent and trivalent impurity So, if pentavalent and trivalent impurities, if we use for preparing the semiconductor, when we dope this with silicon or germanium, that is pentavalent and trivalent impurities, or this pentavalent and trivalent becomes the foreign atoms. If these foreign atoms gets doped into this silicon or germanium, if we consider this becomes the silicon atoms or germanium atoms, if this pentavalent and trivalent if inserted in between these, okay, then only it is possible to make this semiconductor material. Okay, the type of semiconductor material may be we made by using this method becomes p-type semiconductor, okay, or n-type semiconductor. So if we use pentavalent impurity, then we made the material like p-type semiconductor. If we use the impurity, that is trivalent impurity, then we made the material like n-type semiconductor material. Okay. So these defects are very important if we want to manufacture the new materials. So in this way, we finish our first topic, that is first type, that is point defects. So we learn about vacancy, then we learn about this interstitial defects, then substitutional defects. Okay, and now we stop here. Thank you, and please